Good evening, I hope you're all wrapped up warm. I'm Sarah Mattimo.
And I'm Ria Taylor. Welcome to today's special Christmas edition of Leeds Hacks News. Here are today's headlines. Christmas revellers are being warned about the danger of drink driving.
The popular German markets are facing an uncertain future due to Brexit.
And the Salvation Army holds a special festival in Beeston. It's Christmas party time, and that can mean some people are more likely to drink and drive. Leeds Council's annual anti-drink driving campaign is running throughout the festive period. They have partnered with Public Health and West Yorkshire Police to enforce the message that there is no excuse for getting behind the wheel when you've had a drink. Jessica Kay reports from one of their events.
Leeds City Council's Influencing Travel Behaviour team are running a campaign over the festive period to reiterate that drink driving is unacceptable. The campaign's pop-up stall educated the public by offering people information about travel options and also testing out beer goggles to simulate the effects of alcohol impairment.
Have a designated driver who's not going to drink, use public transport. We've been doing some very kind of simple little exercises here where we've got these drink goggles which simulate the effects of alcohol on you. I've tried it on this white line, trying to walk along it. It's very, very difficult, and it just tells you that you can't really mix drinking or drug use with driving. Say if you are involved in an accident, you hurt somebody else, heaven forbid, you kill somebody else, the things that you can't live with, that their families live with forever.
They hope that by spreading the campaign's message, they can help reduce the number of road collisions and casualties involving alcohol and drugs. This is Jessica Kay, reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
The annual Lantern Festival is bringing some light into the dark winter nights thanks to a group of volunteers. They are working with the Salvation Army to bring a park in Leeds to life. Sam Clements went to find out more.
Friday the 14th of December marks another year of the Cross Flat Park's Christmas Lantern Festival. The free event taking place in Beeston tonight is expecting hundreds to attend.
So today is the 5th Cross Flats Lantern Festival, where we take the park, and over the course of the day we will be putting up lots of lights, transforming it into hopefully something that looks very beautiful, and later on this evening people from all across the community will gather here for activities and to sing some carols together.
Event organisers are encouraging volunteers to come down and help bring the park to life, ready for all of the activities tonight.
So it's an event that is entirely done by volunteers, so there's a couple of people who coordinate it from the Salvation Army, and then a team of probably up to 30 or even 40 volunteers who will be involved in setting up, in running the actual event and then packing it all away. We've got a couple of schools who are bringing some choirs to sing. We've got another adult community choir. So it is, very much a kind of feature of the community's life. We will keep doing it, and I think as word of mouth spreads, more and more people will come. Our hope would be that we're not out for a huge crowd of people, but just a group of people that want to come together and start to celebrate Christmas together.
Sam Clements, Leeds Hacks.
The historic Leeds Bridge is set to reopen in the new year after a year's worth of maintenance work.
Grade 2 listed structure will be reopened to both sides of traffic, as only northbound access has been possible since the works began in the beginning of 2018. Not only are traffic levels in the south side of the city expected to ease, but there is a huge relief among businesses in and around the area.
It's a fantastic opportunity for us. It's going to bring in a lot of custom, especially on the run up to Christmas. It's going to be fantastic. We've got lots of deals going on. It's just going to bring in more custom, more profit for us, and then especially being by Call Lane, I think we're one of the central bars that people are going to come to before they go on a night out. So it's absolutely fantastic for us.
Rents in Leeds have risen several times faster than in London, according to a survey. A millennial exodus from the capital has led to a boost in demand in other big cities. The average rent in Leeds is now more than £1,000 a month.
With 105 days to go until we leave the European Union, people in Leeds are worried about the possible effects on the city. And one is that the annual German Christmas market could be at risk of closure. Shannon Mighty went to find out more.
Leeds Christmas Market is a major attraction in the city. During the winter period, thousands come to join in the festivities here. The market is now turning 16, but this year could also be its last. There are fears that Brexit will put an end to the German market for a number of reasons, which has worried festive visitors.
What were true, it would be a loss to the city, but I don't think Brexit itself would stop the market coming.
I suppose we'd have to go like Manchester or another big city, so yeah. We've come a few years in the past, haven't we, so it would be a shame if they weren't here anymore.
My friend that we come every year, I've done for the last 5 years, so we'd miss it if it was gone.
Do you think it? Store worker Jackie Evans says it would be a great shame for the market to leave.
It's a bit disappointing, really. I really enjoy what I do. I enjoy the atmosphere, I enjoy the Christmas spirit, it gets me in the mood. So it'll be quite disappointing, really.
The council have said that no predictions can be made and the future of the Christmas market still hangs in the balance. This is Shannon Mighty reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
Have you put up your Christmas lights yet? We bet they're not as good as this spectacular display put on by the residents of Stonebrig Lane. From skiing snowmen to dancing Santas, the magical street is drawing in spectators from far and wide. Every year, the residents have their very own Christmas lights switch on, but this year they have asked visitors for charitable donations. Candlelighters is one of the chosen charities.
We're really pleased. It's absolutely fantastic to be one of the chosen charities. It's really great for us, not only the fact that they're raising money for us, which is obviously brilliant, but also the awareness that goes into it. And it's such a lovely thing, and the lights look so fantastic. It's just really great to be a part of it. But the money raised through the Christmas lights will make a massive difference to our charity. We are a relatively small charity, although we support families all across Yorkshire, and we don't receive any government funding, so every penny that we need to support our families is raised by people like in the community of Rothwell and everything like that, so we're really appreciative.
Christmas is your chance to treat a loved one to something special, but that doesn't have to mean expensive. Charity shop buying is on the rise as people flood the stores for a festive bargain.
The Sue Ryder store in Headingley has noticed a big increase in shoppers this season. Jennifer Tierney reports.
This Christmas, people have been switching from their high street retailers to their local charity shops, which fuels the local economy.
Up until, especially as soon as it hits December in charity shops, it gets really busy across both this shop and the other Sue Ryder one.
We get a lot of people wanting to come in and buy lots of Christmas jumpers, especially for work dues, because they know they're not going to wear them again or wear them very often, so they don't want to spend as much money as if they went to a high street retailer, so Christmas is generally quite good for us.
Christmas jumpers are a big sale point for charity shops in December.
We have a full rail on the shop floor at the moment, so around the Christmas period we tend to try and keep out the full rail. But we also stockpile our Christmas and seasonal donations all the way through the year. So we tend to keep those in a bag and we bring them out every year.
Christmas is the time for giving, with January being one of the busiest months of the year for donations.
I think it's that time where people realise they need to clear out from the new stuff they've just got, or clear out of the new stuff they've just got, as well as getting rid of decorations. So it's just a massive build of stuff.
This is Jennifer Tierney reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
Or maybe you would rather support local businesses. Kirkstall Abbey's annual Hidden Christmas Market launches today with handmade goods and entertainment for all the family. This year, all the stalls and food vendors are run by local independent businesses in a bid to encourage people to shop locally. Sal Wilcox has more.
Home is where the heart is, or at least that's the approach that Kirkstall Abbey's Hidden Christmas Market is taking this year. Local events planner Sneaker Experience has ensured that all the stalls and food is from homebred Yorkshire businesses.
So shopping local is something that we firmly believe in, so all of our independent retailers are local. There's no big chains kind of involved. Everybody has either handcrafted or handmade their own wares, so we've got everything from the Yummy Yank who do the most delicious brownies that they've baked themselves. They're very local. They do Kirkstall deli markets on a regular basis. A lot of the retailers, including some of the street food stalls, are also local. They do a lot of the deli markets, and they're kind of local to the Yorkshire region. It's something that we really are quite keen on, because we want to obviously pay it back and support as many Yorkshire businesses as we can, and obviously Sneaky Experience themselves. We are a local Yorkshire business as well, so what better way to kind of celebrate all things Yorkshire than by going the whole hog and really kind of paying it forward this Christmas.
This is Sal Wilcox reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
Leeds City Council are aiming to improve the diversity of culture across the city to reflect the population. The strategy focuses on the city centre, where they have identified a number of key projects such as City Square and the Hedgerow. Their challenge is to ensure that the culture is clearly visible on the streets by hosting events, public art and creating green spaces.
Christmas is a time for togetherness, a time to enjoy each other's company and wait eagerly for a visit from Santa Claus.
But this year, St Nick has recruited another helper to spread the Christmas cheer.
Rasta Claus is the only Rastafarian Santa in the UK. His creator is Faye Kenny, the owner of children's entertainment company Boom Chicka Boom.
Well, at Boom Chicka Boom we try to do, alternative events, trying to think outside of the box, doing things that are different for families. And we try to, be as creative as possible. And one of my friends was saying, you should have a black Santa.
And now we have an extra special guest in our studio today. He's taken time out of his very busy schedule to come and talk to us about his role over the Christmas period. Welcome, Rasta Claus. Hello, Rasta Claus. You look great. I love the outfit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Could you just tell me a little bit about your role and how this come about?
Well, yeah. Well, a few years ago, I worked at a special school in Bradford called Delius, and while I was working there, they approached me about playing the role of Santa. And as much as I was interested, I was also interested in the idea of how the children would see this very commercial image of Santa, which we've had for years. It's the image I have clearly in my head. And I thought, if I wanted to do this, I wanted something to be a little bit different, something they could see in another light. So, almost as a joke, I just came up with this idea. We'll call this guy Rasta Claus, and in that way round, there'll be less confusion about who he is. It was really meant for the school. I never ever intended doing anything public with it. It was for a moment, but last year I was approached by Faye Kenny from Boom Chicka Boom, who asked me if I would play the role of Santa again. And again, I said to her, I love this idea, but you know what, I'm going to try and get Rasta Claus out of retirement.
You talked about the reactions just then. Can you just give us some examples of what reactions you get from the public? Because I can imagine the people of Leeds can be quite surprised when they see a Rasta Claus floating around.
Well, if I'll just give you an example, 2 weeks ago Friday, I walked into a well-known fish and chip shop establishment in the evening, and a woman who was sat eating her fish and chips looked up, right? This is a woman, I would assume she was in her 50s, maybe in the 60s, in total bewilderment, and asked me if she could give me a hug. Now, you tell me what more beautiful reaction there is that on a Friday night, up in Leeds, in a fish and chip shop, and Rasta Claus walks in with a big smile on his face and his hand on his shoulder. I think this is about the idea of making people feel good, and I noticed it, like I said, I noticed it with the young children. There's a fascination, there's a look, there's a bewilderment, and what I realised at that point actually is how beautiful this idea is, right? And it's not just whether it's Rasta Claus or Santa Claus or Mrs. Claus. It's not about that. It's the idea that we're offering something, the best of ourselves as human beings in this world, particularly for young people, to make them feel great. And I love it. So, yeah, I love the reactions, but they come in all sorts of ways. My favourite moment of last year, which is really clear in my mind, or one of my favourite moments, was a Muslim woman coming up to me in Leeds Market and asking to give me a hug and crying on my shoulder as she was hugging me. And I have a photograph of that moment which tells me everything I sort of, want to know about why I want to do this.
Yeah, but is it important at all other times of year, not just especially Christmas? Like, you as a person want to spread these messages at all times of year?
I really do, and I this is what I say to people is, our acts of benevolence and kindness shouldn't be restricted to a time of year. They shouldn't be. That's, is there a season of kindness? Is there a season of being, good to one another? No, that should be the norm. Truth is, the message is always being spread, regardless of what the season is, yeah? So it's the same message at Easter, it's the same one at Whitsun, it's the same one during our great bank holidays, through the festival season, through the snows, same message, it's peace and love, it's kindness and happiness everywhere.
Well, you've created smiles and happiness in the studio
Definitely.
today. With having you here, we can't let you go without saying a massive Merry Christmas to the people here in Leeds. Could you just give us a cheer and say Happy Christmas to everyone here in Leeds for us, just down this camera here?
Absolutely. Well, to all peoples everywhere, but especially in the fine city of Leeds, in the county of West Yorkshire, what I'd like to do is wish you the most merry, merry, merry Christmas on behalf of Rasta Claus, sending peace and love everywhere. And remember, people, it's not just about what we receive. We must always give a little back. Merry Christmas.
Well, I'm feeling rather festive now.
It's a very Merry Christmas and goodbye from me here at Leeds Hacks.
Goodbye.